Welcome to the Daily Plunge. We are in the book of Genesis, chapter 2, verses 4 through 25. Now, we are told about how God creates man, about how he doesn't just speak man into existence, but he forms man out of the stuff of creation, out of the dust. And it is only by God breathing life, by the Spirit coming into man, that he becomes a living being. And then God creates a garden in which for man to live, because man's not going to do that, right, for himself. God gives this to him. It is a gift. And part of this, there's all kinds of trees that are pleasing and good for food, but then there's the tree of life. And the tree of life represents the gift of life from God. And ultimately, there's going to be a new tree of life that comes from Christ, because Christ is the life of the world. Even before his cross, he is the life of the world, as it says in John 1. And so the inhabitants of the garden have fullness of life because of Christ. Now, there's also the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. It's not the tree of good and evil, it's the knowledge of. And we know that knowledge is not the same as the tree of life. It's not the same as life. And more knowledge is not always necessarily good for us. Now, this tree is there because of the reality that God does not create evil. God does not require evil to exist in contradiction to his good. God does not need the devil. He doesn't. But it does exist because there is an opposing behavior. If there's obedience, then there's disobedience. If there's intimacy with God, then there can also be separation from God. If there is life, then there can also be death. And the thing is that in God, these oppositions of life and death, obedience and disobedience, intimacy and separation, they do not exist within God because they're at odds with his character about who God is. Now, the Lord recognizes he is alone. We are not created to be alone, that like the Trinity, we are created for relationship, for community. And so he brings all the animals to him, and none seem to be just quite right for him. And so Adam, there's no suitable helper found to him. So the Lord puts him into a deep sleep. And whereas he took Adam from the dust, now he takes the woman from his rib, right? And she is bone of his bones, flesh of his flesh. She is like him. And we are created by God for a connection with God, but we're also created to be social beings in relationship with others. We are created specifically for human families. We are not created just for societies, but we are created to be in human families. Men and women are complementary, but different. And one of the things to note is that the woman is created to be of equal value to the man, and that she is his helpmate, not his servant. And so the man and the woman are by God's design united to become one, to become family, to be married. And that's where they are bound together. Well, hey, friends, thanks for joining us. Take time to like, share, subscribe, so that we can continue doing what we're doing on the Daily Plunge. I'm so grateful for you participating. Again, please share this with others. Have a blessed day.